Well, good morning, guys, from the Oceano Dunes Ranch here on the central coast of California. A very nice RV park, part of like the Encore 1000 Trails system, but we've been laying low here for the past week with Beck's mom, who travels full-time in a big old Class A. Yeah, just after Grandma's passing, it was good to have a week or so of family time together. But we are about to hit the road to Alaska. All right. How's it looking in here?
Pretty good. I borrowed something from my mom. I have to return, so I'm emptying the purse I borrowed from her.
I don't have those type of problems. But hey, we got some people to introduce you to.
So while we were staying here at Pacific Dunes Ranch, we bumped into some folks across the street. They were our neighbors this week. Michelle and Brian have the channel Livin' Our Vision. And we'll put the little link so you can see how to spell it.
But yeah, it's been great meeting you guys. They pulled in right next to Beck's mom's motorhome here.
Yeah. And we've had some good chats.
Yeah. Immediately really felt welcome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Just want to make sure to give you guys a nice little shout out.
Thank you.
Good people and probably make good content. Gotta say goodbye to this guy. This is my little buddy, Gabe. And then we have Mr. Sitka here. Oh, gonna miss you guys. We might see you this summer if you come up to Alaska. Young man, get inside. Get inside. Okay, stay. Get inside. Good boy. Shelbers is looking really good and ready to hit the road. You ready?
Yeah. It's always hard to leave family, especially after the last few weeks.
Oh, we have to get back on the road sooner or later.
Yep. Now's the time.
Thinking of you, wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late. Now it's too late.
Oh yeah, that's healthy. I think we need to hit a gas station.
Oh my gosh. Now we can't.
But our tanks are all full. Oh well.
Okay, it's been a while since I've said this, but I think we are back on the road. Feels kind of good, huh?
It does.
Actually be going somewhere.
Despite everything, we were right where we needed to be.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how the universe does that. We were kind of frustrated about being down here, and then when everything started to happen, we realized
family needed you most.
Yep. It was actually the greatest blessing to be just a few hours drive away and to be able to have the freedom to be where we needed to be with the people we needed to be with and not have any restrictions to that. So it's actually a great blessing. So
you know, it does sound really corny, but you literally, when you're on the road full time and not in a stable house environment, you have to surrender yourself to the universe, because you can't set too many plans. You just kind of have to have an idea of what you want to go, or a destination, because it's all going to get messed up and mixed up.
And sometimes it's not even messed up. It's changed, and it changes for the better usually. So once you give into that, life gets a lot easier. That's what we figured out.
I wouldn't quite say it gets easy.
Well, you're not fighting it anymore, at least. Like, you just give into it.
Well, either way, surrender yourself to the universe and just roll with those punches.
That probably stands true regardless of what kind of lifestyle you lead, stationary or on the road.
True.
This is going to be so much better. I don't know about you, but I think the windshields needed to be cleaned a little. You're probably wondering where we're headed. You're probably assuming we're headed north. And you would be wrong. Since we are still down here and have the opportunity to do so, we have decided to pop over to Overland Expo West. We really enjoyed going to Overland Expo East in the fall and decided gee, we're here.
The universe put us here.
Maybe we're supposed to be there. So we are on our way to Flagstaff, Arizona now. And we're really looking forward to what the weekend has in store. Should be a lot of fun.
Today's drive is going to be a long one.
Oh, it is.
It's like 600 miles, and it's a sandwich drive because it's like, what, 58 degrees, 60 degrees, beautiful temperatures.
Wonderful weather here, jacket weather.
And then we're going to be going through Bakersfield, the Mojave Desert, all the way down through Needles where it's pushing 100, and then climb up to Fairbanks Flagstaff.
That was
going to be in the high 50s. Cold, hot, cold.
I don't care what we have to drive through as long as wherever we get to is cool. Just hot summer desert temperatures is not my thing.
Oh, in this camper without the AC,
yeah,
it has to get below 70 at night.
It really does.
And by 70 by 7.
70 by 7.
Yes.
Huh? Well, let's see what the road brings.
All right, so the P0335 is the crankshaft position sensor fault, and the P0251 is an injection pump A rotor / camshaft sensor fault code. All right, let's clear these codes and just see what happens, because that can a lot of times buy us time. Erasing and erasing. Done. Check engine light went out, so we now know what the codes are. We should not be in limp mode anymore, and maybe we can dig into this a little bit deeper.
Like get off the road and dig into it deeper, or drive
Well,
on?
let's just see what happens. It's a very valuable piece of equipment, but it's been a wicked hot trip across the desert. So who knows? I'll just take it as it goes.
Shelby thought this was a great little snack stop. We had treats while we read the codes. It wasn't so bad, huh?
It went into limp mode, and we're not even going over 2,000 RPMs or like 40 miles per hour, and we're not going to make it up to Flagstaff with that. So
We have a lot of grades to pull too.
yeah, exactly. If it was flat, yeah, we'd push through.
Yeah.
But my hands are tied. All I have is a code reader, not a full-blown scan tool that can measure all the data. Now that is going to be on the list, because I don't want to have to deal with this. We don't have the tool to read it. I'm going to get the tool, and apparently my little reader is not the tool. And I feel like a tool because I'm not prepared, because ultimately it's just nuts and bolts, and if I don't have the right tool to fix it, I gotta pay somebody. And you know, when you're a do-it-yourself kind of guy, you feel like a tool sometimes when you have to pay people. But man, also it is just way too coincidental that this all happened after getting fuel. And I know that like a fuel filter, fuel problems are like the number one thing. Diesel problem? Oh, check the fuel filter. It's like unplugging your router for 10 seconds and plugging it back in when your internet doesn't work. It's like step number one. And it all happened after we got fuel. I do have on this side a tank of diesel that is not AM/PM diesel. And I know that I'm just rambling on here, guys, but there's so many things going through my head. But I do know that sometimes fuel issues can throw random codes. To further add a little confusion, after the engine sat for about an hour, the check engine light went off, and I did not clear that code. So we're just gonna park for the night, but who knows what's gonna happen along the way. It did go right back into limp mode again. See, right there, that amber one is the check engine light. That's parking brake. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We are kind of in desperate measures here. So to eliminate the fact of fuel in the passenger side tank being the issue, I just went ahead and switched tanks. So we're running off of the one here on the driver's side, and we're on our drive right now to see if the check engine light comes on and if it goes into limp mode.
Well, it's not the fuel because we went back into limp mode and the check engine light came back on.
Okay, I just changed the fuel filter because it's a diesel. Let's see how it goes. 7 miles under my belt, and knock on wood, no issues yet. So maybe it was the fuel filter. It was a little bit dirty, but I don't know. I'm gonna make sure to put some at least 15 miles on this thing before I feel comfortable with Beck and I hitting the road. But damn, fuel filter, I had it on me. And with any luck, and we could use a little bit of luck, we might be back on the road.
I have really good news for you. We are just a few miles from Fairbanks. The fuel filter change did the trick. Truck performed fabulously, climbed the hill up here with no problem, and we are going to make it to Expo West. A couple of things, a couple of thoughts as we finish out our little adventure here. One, as per usual, it's pretty handy to have this guy with us. He's pretty adept at turning a wrench and was able to kind of figure things out here with, we talked about it, and we could have done this last night and gotten back on the road right away, but sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of time to think it through and process what's going on and sort out the best course of action. The guys at Mitsubishi in Las Vegas were awesome to help Ben kind of troubleshoot and get through the codes and stuff like that. I mean, like, they hung up with us and went and did research and called us back. It was pretty cool. But I'm so grateful that Ben can take care of a lot of these things. That ends up saving us money, and in this case, it got us back on the road. A little lesson we learned here. Have had AAA for years, renewed it in November, told them what kind of vehicle we had. They didn't say a word because we had changed RVs. But when we went to try to use the towing service, they were like, oh, sorry, that's a box truck. We don't tow box trucks. And I was like, no, it's not. It's registered as an RV. They did not care how the DMV registered it. As far as they were concerned, this chassis in their system is deemed a box truck and they will not tow it. Luckily, we pay with State Farm, and they will tow us. Their rule is, they don't cap it, their rule, for our policy at least, is that they will, wow, slow down. They will tow us, sorry, as far as needed in order to get to a facility equipped to repair our vehicle. So not just any auto shop, but one that can actually repair us. Since we have kind of a custom vehicle, Mitsubishi has proprietary diagnostic tools and equipment to repair the vehicles. It's you got to go someplace that has those things on hand. So maybe this is the universe's way of helping us make sure we actually have towing in place before we need it. But they will cover us in the United States and Canada. Another thing that we have also recognized with this is there's a learning curve to having a new vehicle. And I think we've probably said this a few times since we bought the Mitsubishi. But now we know that when something like this happens, it's probably the fuel filter, and that's the first thing that we will troubleshoot. But until it happens to you, you don't know it, and you don't necessarily know how it's going to present and how you're going to fix it. So, it's part of the learning curve. We had Nellie for 7 years, so we really had her dialed in. We knew what everything meant. And we're going to get to the point where Denny's the same way. But really excited that we've made it up here. We're going to do a fuel stop and a grocery stop real quick before we check in.
Well, hello guys from Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, Arizona. And it looks like we got parked in the Fuso section. That's okay, because the Fuso is still a rock star in my book. Can't fault the fuel filter. Can't fault the Fuso for the fuel filter. It's been a long 2 days, guys. Yeah, got knocked down. Get back up again. The road just dictates your life, and you almost have to surrender to it. Don't give up. Keep pushing, and we're here at Overland Expo West. We made it. Yeah, stay tuned for some good stuff from here. Joe and Kate are here. Chris Travels is here, and it's just going to be awesome meeting you guys as well. We've already said hi to a few people, so thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this super duper dose of reality. Have a good one.